He hasn't voted aye or nay. He's basically said what his mother thinks.
I hear the member. Certainly, the interpretation that came through to the clerk was a vote against. I think, in answer to the member's question about whether someone casting a vote does so in a manner which is not necessarily the way that we'd have normally done it, if the intent is clear, then I would believe that the intent is the guiding factor in which one could actually determine what the intent was and what the members, what their view was in this matter. I'm actually seeking advice at this time because I don't.
Can I give something?
I'll invite the member to give me to state a position.
Well, I think and again, I think I could understand the second time that the member did, and I think it was slightly different from the first. What he effectively said in a rough translation is that this is a view of my family, rather than indicating a specific vote in a particular direction. And as to your comments, Mr. Chairman, that just as long as you've got the intent, then that's okay. I think if you look to that question, I think what you'd find is that it wouldn't work very well, because I could make a speech about how my friends, as an old member of the Engineers Union, the Wainuiomata Rugby Club, some friends I have on Facebook, all have a particular view on this legislation. And, sir, I don't think you'd be any wiser as to which way I was voting. And I think if members were making speeches instead of voting, it will take a long time.
Well, I hear the member. Look, I have sought advice on this matter. There is nothing in standing orders or speakers' rulings which says which way one needs to cast their vote. As I said, if the intent is clear and the number is mentioned as being opposed, which it was, then that is acceptable to the chair. And so the matter rests there. I take on board what the member raised, but in the absence of any standing order, in the absence of any speaker's ruling, I have ruled that if the intent is clear and one knows exactly what the member is saying and casting a vote, the chair's accepting that point. I'm going to head to your level.
Mr. Speaker, I pai te rā whakamarama. E ahua rere ke te korora te Honourable Trevor Miller. Ka reo ku raru ki te korora o te memo o te nota me tana ki mai kei te whakai tōku wairua, kei te whakahera nei tōku wairua. Ka reo te whakahei te korero, kei te whakai tōku mana, kei te whakahera nei tōku mana. Engari ko te rere kētanga i tērā pōti ko te korero whānau. Ka ki mai te mema ka re tōku whānau i te tautoko. No reira, e hari te mea nōna tērā whakaro, no tōna whānau kē. Kone te tika ngō taku whakahei.
Well, as I said to the member, I thank the member for those comments. We haven't come across this before. I'm saying, in the absence of any standing order or speaker's ruling, if the intent is clear and we know the number of the votes being cast, then that's acceptable to the chair, and we'll leave it at that at this point. Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the problem that I have is that I do not think, while the general direction is probably clear, I do not think it is absolute. And again, I've got colleagues translating for me on both sides, and what they are saying, effectively is what the member said, is that his family is opposed to this particular measure. Is that roughly it? Now, Mr. Flavel was offended by the inclusion of family, or thought that he brought it up on that basis. My view, I'll just wait till you're finished, Mr. Chairman. My view, Mr. Speaker, is that there are occasions where I, as a Member of Parliament, cast votes in ways which are different from what my family would think on particular issues. And I think it is important, in fact it is vital, that we get a clear indication from the member of what his view is.
Okay, I'm in position. Now, I do apologise to the House. There is, in fact, a Speaker's ruling, and I'll refer you to 67.7. On a party vote, the clerk names the party by its official name, and the whip responsible for voting then gives the vote. No other comment at all is allowed. So that's the ruling. I trust that that satisfies you, sir, for bringing it to our attention, and that there is a Speaker's ruling, and I'll just refer it again, 67.7. So to the member, in casting future votes, I'll ask that one complies with the Speaker's rulings as I've outlined.
It's a relatively short one, and it is just to seek an assurance through you, Mr Chairman, of the member involved that in fact his vote was recorded in the way that he wished.
Look, the coming through the translation was very clear, and I've no doubt that's why.
He didn't hear the translation.
No, but we cast the votes here. We know what the votes were. I hear what you're saying. My position is, as I said earlier, that the intent was known, and that's what I ruled on earlier on. Now, the member, if he wishes, has the opportunity to hear what the translation is. That's his discretion whether he wishes to avail himself of it. So at this stage, that's where the matter lies. Now, Honourable John Muscowen had a point of order.
No, sorry, can we just finish the point? So you've indicated that the member has the ability to listen to the translation. It is, in fact, very hard to be standing up with these earpieces in. The earpieces are set up so the people who are sitting down can hear the translation.
No, righto, okay. I'll just ask the member and to confirm that he was voting against with one vote. You're confirming that, sir?
I do confirm.
Thank you. Right. On both occasions?
On all occasions.
Thank you, on all occasions. Now, point of order, the Honourable John Muscowen.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I'd actually like to raise two separate issues, and members may wish to speak to either one or both of the issues, and you may need to rule on both of those issues, but for the sake of convenience, I'll speak them both at the same time. Sir, my understanding, listening to the discussion over the last 10 minutes, is we've had Mr Mallard stand up and say that he's been getting a literal transaction, presumably from Mr Parakura. My point of order, Mr...
Well, come to the point of order. This is not a debate. Okay. Point of order. I want to hear it specifically, the point of order, not a debate.
Okay. Mr Speaker, it seems to me that what's happened in this House is that Mr Haramia has been providing a translation which is different from the official translation.
No. That's not a point of order. We get an interpretation here. That's what the clerks do. And I've asked the member to confirm the vote that he was given, and he's confirmed it. End of story. We're moving on.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order.
With the deepest of respect, you say you're getting the translation, but is that the correct translation? I'm asking, is that the correct translation?
Look, I have just asked the member to confirm the vote that he cast. He confirmed it to the committee. End of story. I put that question to him. It's all over. He said that what he cast was the correct, and that's the interpretation that we got. We're now moving on. I don't want to enter any further discussion on this matter. Right.
Speaker, I'm very sorry, but it seems to me is that the member was using the word family or whānau. The official translation wasn't saying it. How can we be satisfied that the official translation is actually correct?
Sit down. I have just said, and I have just quoted the rule, the standing order, the Speaker's ruling, in fact, what the member should do. I said earlier that if the intent was known as to what his intentions were, then that was, from my point of view, was satisfactory. I asked the member to confirm quite clearly what his intent was, and he said that he voted against. Very clear as far as I'm concerned. But let me draw your attention to 37.2, the interpreter's role. The process of interpretation is not merely a matter of transliterating the word for word from one language into another, especially with languages as different in their origins as English and Maori. This is not possible. 37.3 says, The object of interpreting into English is to enable members listening to the member's speech to have a reasonable but not necessarily total understanding of what is said. As all members have good facility in English, it is not necessary to interpret English into Maori. Interpretation is undertaken only when there is a practical need to do so. And I am very satisfied that the answer that we got satisfies all concerned. Oh no, look, we're not carrying on this. I've made the points.
Well, point of order. Yeah, I think we do have what could become a serious issue, because I mean that speaker's ruling is one which is well known. It's been there, and I think it relates to interpretation of long passages. And so, in hindsight, they are very kind and they do some tidying up for us to put down what we meant to say. Where there are minor errors. But in this, so, Mr. Chairman, I'm nearly at the point.
Please come to the point of order.
The point is, sir, is it appears that the interpreter is tidying up for and bringing within standing orders the comment of a member who is clearly outside of standing orders.
Thank you for those comments. I asked the member, in all good faith, the member's word is taken, that he voted against. I put that question to him. He said that he voted against. That, and I've taken the member of his word. That's the end of the matter. So let's move on. No. Is this a new matter?
Relevant to the point of order.
No, I've dealt with those. We're moving on. We're now on the Hilary Calvert's amendment to clause 18.2 as set out on SOP number 214. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary will say no. No. The noes have it? Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
Toko whai whakahea.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
E kore au e whakai.
Members, the ayes are 5, the noes are 116. The amendment is not agreed to. The next amendment in the name of the Minister is to omit subclause 3 of clause 18 as set out on SOP number 207. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. The ayes have it? Ayes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
Te Rupu Labour, katoa Whatiku Marua.
I'll ask the member to order. No, I'm dealing with Miss. Please sit down. I'll ask the member to repeat the vote for the Labour Party.
Whatiku Marua opposed Te Rupu Labour, katoa. Order.
Green Party.
Order. Now, order. Votes are taken in silence. I mentioned that before. Please settle down.
9 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
Toko whai tau toko ana.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Ka hore au e whakai.
Members, the ayes are 67, the noes are 54. The amendment is agreed to. Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, on that occasion, to test our system, I voted away with additional material, and I just wanted to check whether the interpretation included that additional material, because if it did, sir, it should have been corrected at the time.